Good morning. Good morning. This is Devin Albertson here for my Facebook Live show. Hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. Of course, on the screen right now is what happens preseason for the closest college football stadium to every county seat. So it's kind of interesting to see how that works out at the beginning of the year. And then if we go forward here in 1 second, I'll show you what they do is it's called an imperialism map. It's say if you be another team, you take their area, and then if you lose to another team, they take your area, and so forth. This would look like at the beginning of the year, pretty even. Every school is a county except for Miami because of FIU in the same county, but FIU Stadium is closer to their county seats, so they get the area. But Miami, they've definitely done good for themselves, making headway. As that is what it looks like right now. Imperialism map, as you can see, Miami's got quite a few areas. Penn State and Ohio State will play this week, so a lot of area up for grabs between those two schools. Washington State playing Arizona, so there's a little bit of area out west. Just a lot of different. It's kind of interesting to see all this stuff here. TCU and Iowa State are playing for some area as well. So we'll get to all that stuff here in a minute. I just want to kind of show that. Up next, this is the closest team to ranked in the polls to areas. So Iowa State now with a big area over the northern Midwest. Of course, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, TCU, USC, Stanford, Washington State, Notre Dame, Memphis. So Penn State controlling the Northeast. So I think it's kind of interesting to see all that. It's kind of my thoughts and everything from last week here in a minute. And of course, here is the AP poll if you're kind of interested right now. Of course, Alabama, they are number one. They got all first place votes. Followed by Penn State, who looked really good versus Michigan. Georgia, TCU, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma. So Miami, Notre Dame both ranked top 10. A few weeks out from Catholics versus Convicts, the rematch in that one coming forward. Of course, Washington, Virginia Tech, NC State, Washington State, Michigan State, all the teams you can see ranked there. And down there at the bottom, Iowa State, number 25. We'll get to them in a minute, but they're ranked for the first time since 05. So they're back in the rankings for the first time in a while. So good to see Cyclones ranked after a couple of nice wins the past 3 weeks over Oklahoma, destroying Kansas like everybody does, and then beating Texas Tech on the road last week. They got back into the rankings at 5-2. All right, so we're going to get to the games for this week. Actually, before we do that, of course, the first game is Oklahoma State versus West Virginia. I want to get to some of my Week 8 reactions. Penn State, they crushed Michigan. 42-13, just an absolute drubbing of Michigan. So Penn State, they are for real right now this year. They were my pick in the beginning of the year to go out of the Big Ten, to win the Big Ten and go to the college football playoff. They should have been there last year. The committee got that one wrong, in my opinion, and put in Ohio State over Penn State. And Penn State looking good this year, so we'll see if they can make it in. Oklahoma, number 9 in the nation, survived a scare from K-State last week, won there in Manhattan, 42-35. A lot of Big 12 schools survived an upset. Number 10, Oklahoma State survives overtime scare at Texas, 13-10. I got an interception on that last play of the game for Texas to preserve the win for the Cowboys. Number 11, USC got run off the field by number 13, Notre Dame, 49-14. I'll get to Notre Dame here a little bit. I was completely wrong on them. Number 23, West Virginia, they hold off Baylor on the road, 38-36, and missed 2-point conversion late in that game was the difference in that one going overtime. There were no major upsets to speak of. My picks last week, I went 4-1 straight up, 3-2 against the spread. I took Memphis plus 3.5 over Houston. That was correct. Memphis won by 4, so we were good there. I took Central Florida minus 6.5 over Navy. They won by 10, so that was great. Penn State to win, but I took Michigan to cover the 12.5. Didn't happen. Penn State won 42-13, but I got half it right. I got the win right. Just the spread was not correct on that one. I picked USC to win plus 3.5 over Notre Dame. That was dead wrong. Notre Dame won 49-14. In the last game, I had completely correct. Wazoo over Colorado minus 10.5. They won 28-0. So I was right there. Just a little bit of misfortune there with the Penn State and the Notre Dame winning big. Did not see that happening in those two games. Alrighty, let's see if we can't get some of the games for this week up here. We'll go first game, number 1 of the week. Oklahoma State at West Virginia. West Virginia number 22 in the nation. Oklahoma State number 11 in the nation. So big matchup here in the Big 12. Oklahoma State's an 8-point favorite according to Bovada. I'm going to take Oklahoma State -8 and to win the game straight up. They both lost to TCU, but I think Oklahoma State plays a little more defense. And two teams play such a good offense like this, 8 points is not unimaginable here. One team gets a little bit ahead and wins by 14. I think Oklahoma State wins by 10, though. They get the win over West Virginia. Early game on Saturday, 11 o'clock on ABC, so you can wake up and see a pretty good game over in Morgantown. Next game here, we have game number 2 of the week, staying in the Big 12. Number 4, TCU at number 25, Iowa State. TCU -6. I think they're the win as well. Iowa State is the surprise team of the year right now. I mean, they've ranked for the first time since 2005, as I said earlier, and are 5-2, 3-1 in the Big 12 for the first time since 2002. That was 15 years ago. I do think TCU is a more talented team, and I think even though it's going to be a tough environment up at Ames, it's going to be homecoming for the Cyclones. I think TCU will come away with a win. Should be a good game, though, back and forth. I think TCU pulls away late, wins by a touchdown or more to cover that 6-point spread, though. So 2:30 kickoff on ABC, ESPN. Definitely a candidate for the game day crew. I don't think they've announced yet where they're going to go. This would be a good place to go, Ames. Great scene for a college game day type atmosphere in that one. Next up, we'll have NC State, number 14 in the nation, at number 9, Notre Dame. Another big matchup for the Fighting Irish. I'm going to say this right now. Step 1, apologize to the Fighting Irish. I didn't think you guys were very good. I thought you guys had gotten lucky with an easy schedule. One team you facing Georgia, you got beat by a true freshman quarterback in his first road start. I think the Irish are very good, and then they go out and just steamroll USC. So that's all me. My bad. Didn't trust you guys. I trust you a little bit more now after that big win over USC. This one, Notre Dame's a 7.5-point favorite. I think they win, but I don't think they cover. I think North Carolina State can keep it close. Notre Dame wins by a field goal late. It should be a fun game in South Bend again. I think Notre Dame stays undefeated, though, until they get to play Miami later this year. Then we'll get to that game when it arrives. But I think it's going to be a fun game between the Wolfpack and the Fighting Irish. I think the Wolfpack keep it close, but Notre Dame wins a close one there on NBC at 2:30 in the afternoon. So another decent game there in the afternoon, same time as TCU, Iowa State. Also, one thing to look at in this game is the rushing attack for Notre Dame and the rush defense for North Carolina State. As you see there, Notre Dame rushing for almost 320 yards per game. North Carolina State allows about 90 yards per game. So that's going to be a big thing right there. Which one's going to win out in that scenario? Is it going to be North Carolina State's defense, or will it be Notre Dame's rushing offense? So we'll see what happens there. I think it's going to be close. Notre Dame by 3. Next game here, Penn State at number 6, Ohio State, 2 versus 6 in this one. Big matchup in the Big Ten. This one probably decides that side of the division with Ohio State still to play Michigan down the road. Penn State, big win last week. Ohio State, they've been rolling ever since their loss to Oklahoma. A lot of people think Ohio State's the best one-loss team in the nation. I think they're really good. Right now they're favored by 6.5 at home versus Penn State. That's way too many. Penn State's way too talented to be given a touchdown on the road. I'll take Penn State plus 6.5 and to win outright. I think the combo of McSorley and Barkley are too much for Ohio State. And last time I saw JT Barrett in a big game versus a quality opponent, I'm not talking about Nebraska, I'm talking about Oklahoma, an actual good team, he laid an egg. So I don't think they're going to be that good this year. I think he's going to struggle versus this Penn State defense, but a little bit underrated in my opinion. I know everybody talks about Ohio State and their good defense, but Penn State's right there with them, if not better this year. So 2:30 kickoff on Fox, so 3 games kicking off at the same time on Saturday. I love that college football does this, right? They have 3 good games all at one time. Everybody has one TV to use. That's just terrific. You can see all the games at once. Come on, guys. I know NBC, they want a good time slot. So does Fox. So does ABC. You guys work with us a little bit so we don't have the 3 best games of the weekend all at the same time. Come on. We have one of those games go to 6:30. We have a good game in the afternoon. We have 4 ranked matchups this week. We have one at 11:30 and 3 more at 2:30. Can we split it up a little bit? That'd be great. It'd be better for everybody's audiences. They'd all go up a little bit. But I'll have at least 2 TVs running here at my place watching probably the Penn State, Ohio State, and then probably I don't know what I'm going to do for the other game. Probably TCU Iowa State for a while, then maybe you'll switch over to NC State, Notre Dame. I'll keep switching back and forth to get all these good games in on Saturday. That's one thing I wish they would fix in college football. That wouldn't be 4 good games at one time, and then early in the day there's nothing good. I don't know. College football needs to fix that a little bit, so you get the best product on the TV for your fans at home. So that's gonna be that. I think Penn State plus 6.5 to win at Ohio State. They're gonna win the Big Ten this year. Book it right now. That's what I have for that one. And next, Washington State, number 15 in the nation, at Arizona. Washington State's a 3-point road favorite. Now, Khalil Tate for Arizona is an absolute animal. He's a stud there for the Wildcats. He's not a great passer, but man, he will kill you with his legs. 325 yards at Colorado, 230 at UCLA, and 137 last week at Cal. They've been scoring mid to upper 40s the last 3 weeks with him at quarterback. He's been dynamic for the Wildcats. Expect Luke Falk and the Cougars to put up some huge offensive numbers versus Arizona's defense, but I'm going to take the upset. I'm taking Arizona to pull it off, 48-45. They cover the 3-point spread in the win. Arizona's going to pull off the upset away from Pullman. Washington State's going to lose this one to Arizona. Give me Arizona +3 and to win outright. So, go to all my picks. I got Oklahoma State -6.5. I have TCU -6.5 too. The 6.5, can't remember the number for that one now. -6. Okay, Oklahoma State -8. TCU -6. Then I'll take North Carolina State +7.5, but Notre Dame to win. I'll take Ohio State to lose this. I'll take Penn State +6.5 to win outright versus Ohio State. And then I'll take Washington State to lose, Arizona State to cover the 3, and to win the game outright. So that's what I got for my picks this week. No Heisman race this week just because everything is just too close. Too much to wade through right now. Still, after last week, there's a lot of chaos right there. I think Barkley's still right now the favorite for that. With no clear-cut number 2. We'll see what happens going forward with that. And a reminder that the first college football playoff will be released next Tuesday. So a reminder that next Tuesday will be the first time that the college football rankings will be released for Division I. Also, Division II regional rankings come out today. So I'll be posting those on my Twitter at Devin Albertson, also on the X106 Twitter account. So that's what everybody needs to know for that. At X106_sports. We'll be tweeting out what Northwest is ranked in that one, among other things. So I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I had fun doing the show. If you have any questions, definitely send my way. Sorry, Irish fans, that I doubted you guys, but you gave me no reason to trust you before this. So now maybe I'll trust you a little bit more going forward, but we'll see. Hope everybody has a good rest of your day, and I'm going to be out of here. I got class later on today. So everybody, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for the NFL talk. A lot of talk about the NFL. Good weekend of football here on my Facebook Live and YouTube show.